Hi, everyone. It's Terry Vanover, divorce strategist, and I help you come through your divorce without being legally, financially, and emotionally devastated. And most importantly, I help you to heal from your divorce so that you can transition confidently into the next phase of your life and not repeat the same mistakes from your first divorce. So, why is this topic important? We're going to be talking about how to have a more amicable divorce, right? So, it's very easy to have a very difficult divorce. And, the system doesn't help. The legal system is actually devised in a way to create conflict, to create people not working against each other. The system is against it if you want to navigate this more amicably. But I can tell you that there are some ways that you can really significantly improve having a more amicable divorce. So this is really vital too, because it can cost upwards of $30,000 if it becomes that's the average cost of a divorce. So the more you continue to aggravate things and throw gasoline on the fire, the more expensive it's going to be, and the longer it's going to get. But there are some things that are in your control. There's definitely some tips that you can do to help you get through this situation that's already devastating a little bit better. Okay, so not only that, if you end up being really negative and acting out and kind of feeding into this system, which is so negative, if you're going through a divorce, more than likely you have kids, and you want to behave in a way that's dignified and that shows your kids that you are willing to put some stuff aside so you can be your best self going through this devastating time. So I was at a conference this week and I'm really on fire for it. It's just been amazing how much it's lit me up, and I'm so excited. And we were talking about this, how to be your best despite devastating events that you may be going through. And there are some things that you can do. Okay, so as a divorce strategist, one of the things I invite my clients to do is to look forward, right? I want future self. I want you to think of yourself a year out and look back at how do you want to have come through your divorce. What do you see? How do you feel? How do you want to have conducted yourself, right? And also help my clients to think about what is it that's really most important to you, because it's really easy to get kind of bogged down into the weeds. And I try to help my clients really think about what is most important. Don't get bogged down in the little details, right? People get caught up in that very quickly. So it's important that I want you to have a vision statement for your divorce. And I also invite you to think about how you want to conduct yourself, right? What is your intention through this? Act with dignity. Be the best parent for your child. All those things, because your child is watching, believe me. Also think about what's important, what are you willing to compromise on and what you're not willing to compromise on, because so often a lawyer doesn't do that. They just make assumptions, or they kind of spur you to ask for really more than what it is that you're really wanting to, not thinking about the holistic view of things. And then secondly, I want you to think about taking responsibility for yourself. Listen, that can be hard because divorce is so difficult and it's very overwhelming. And maybe you feel like you've been betrayed, and maybe you feel like you're getting the raw end of the deal, and you are really, the ex is really destroying you, right? And so it's really important that you not give up responsibility for your own actions and what you do. When you show up and you take responsibility for yourself, you're no longer a victim. You do have a choice. You have a choice in how you react or don't react. You have a choice in how you respond or not respond. You have a choice. You can act in a way that's dignified, and you can act in a way that's of your higher self. So take responsibility for yourself and not be a victim in this. Where are some ways that you can show up differently? Where are some ways that you can communicate differently that are more constructive versus destructive? And then lastly, I want you to think about conflict in a new way. If you just reframe how you're thinking about conflict, it can be a way of just seeing things from a different perspective. And so when you're thinking about this, I know we get caught up in the stories in our head, right? But you have to allow for the possibility that maybe someone else has a different perspective. You have one perspective, and the other person may have a different perspective. So it's really important that you at least try to see things from another person's perspective. You may not agree, right? But at least if you can see and validate that perspective, then it can help you manage the conflict a little bit differently and not get so caught up in the story in your own head. So look, I know how devastating divorce can be. And I made a lot of mistakes that led to my divorce drawing out for 2.5 years and not negotiating with my ex-husband when I really should have. We really should have sat down and talked through things together much earlier. 2 failed attorneys and 2 failed mediations, and just I went bankrupt through all of it. I made all the mistakes. I didn't have the right resources. I wasn't knowledgeable about the process. I didn't know what I was entitled to or what I was losing, or that there was another way. There are so many options. You don't just have to hire an attorney and she or he hires an attorney and then you guys battle it out. There are so many other options. There's different ways you can navigate this in a more constructive way that doesn't have to destroy you emotionally and financially, right? So I've been there, I've done that. And it just lost everything, lost all my support, my mom, my health, everything. So I understand how devastating divorce can be, and I made all those mistakes, and I decided I didn't want anyone else making these mistakes. I didn't want anyone else not being their best through this, not looking at this in a different way, because you can divorce with dignity. It's possible. And now I co-parent with my ex 50-50. We are really big supporters of each other. His new wife is one of my best friends. We enjoy supporting each other and helping each other and being there for the kids. And so many people think that divorce is the answer to their problems. And the truth is, it is not, right? You're still going to have to relate to this person. You're still going to have to communicate with this person. You're still going to have to deal with this person. You're just going to have to do it in a different way. So I can teach you how to deal with this person in a new way and relate to yourself in a new way and relate to your ex in a way that is more constructive, that is healthier, that is better for you and your children. I invite you to reach out to me, right? Because I've been there, done that, and I know how overwhelming and stressful it is. And I know that there's not a lot of resources and tools to help you through this process. And I can give you those tools, those resources, the help and the support that you need to get through this devastating time, get through this better, right? When you come out on the end of it, you can look back at your life and be proud of how you conducted yourself, okay? So reach out to me. I'm here to help you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to hop on a call with you and help you navigate this divorce. All right? All right, just message me here on Facebook. I look forward to getting to know you and supporting you. All right, Terry Vanover, Choosing to Rise.